But one thing is certain, these new TV deals the NBA has signed with these major networks are worth tens of billions of dollars. And much like the gambling revenue, every owner is getting a slice of this pie. If there were 2 new expansion teams, they would once again eat into the pool of shared revenue.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So this video caught my attention here. This is from Andy Hoops, and the title is Adam Silver Just Killed the Hopes of Sonic Fans, but why? Now, I've been hearing murmurs about basically the expansion that was planned in the NBA is off, and I've heard there's a correlation between that and the gambling apps, because of all the revenue coming in from the gambling apps. Basically, the current owners are voting out the idea of expanding the league, because that means the revenue that they get, their share, their market share that they get from the gambling apps and the deal that they have, they don't want to split it, you know, into more owners, more teams. So that's what I understand about this situation, but I don't know much. I don't know, like, if there's anything else going on, or maybe I'm wrong about the expansions. So I really wanted to check this video out with you guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and let's see what this video entails. I'll probably learn a couple of things, guys. I'm gonna link the original video down below in the description, like I always do, and you'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members, I appreciate you guys. Let's get right onto it. I'm really curious about this, so like the vid if you could. It helps out a lot. Hit that hype button as well, I'd appreciate it. Here we go, you guys.
It's not on the front burner right now for the league. I think we want to see where our new media deals come out, but then we'll turn back to expansion at some point.
In 2012, the Nets, who've been playing in New Jersey for decades, built a new arena in Brooklyn and relocated there. In 2008, the Seattle Supersonics got their team taken away from them when new owner Clay Bennett saw an opportunity to move the team to his home state of Oklahoma. Shout out to Woo Hoops for that awesome video that explained everything. In 2001, after struggling with finances, the Vancouver Grizzlies were forced to relocate to Memphis. You can go back even further, and so many teams have relocated, and so many teams have joined the league as an expansion team. But through all this time, one thing remained the same. The Seattle Supersonics have the most ardent fan base, all of whom were rightfully pissed off at how they lost their team in the most nefarious way.
No kidding.
The Seattle Supersonics select Russell Westbrook from UCLA.
Expansion, expansion, expansion. In recent years, that word has come up so many times, with Adam Silver even suggesting that Seattle and maybe even Las Vegas would be the first 2 cities to get a new team. That is, if they get to that point. However, there's also been...
What's also crazy in Seattle is since 2008, they've grown so much. Like, the city is really populated.
Conflicting reports.
I mean, so that would be good for a professional basketball team coming back there.
That maybe the NBA is not as urgent with expanding in the US as much as they let on, as their sights are set elsewhere. In this video, let's take a detailed look at how Adam Silver and the NBA League office has quietly changed their outlook, and the hopes of Seattle ever getting their team back is dwindling. What caused this, and what changed?
To have the guy who stole the Sonics from Seattle and moved them to Oklahoma City, I feel really sorry for Sacramento Kings fans right now.
You see, the discussion of Seattle getting a new team has been around for over a decade. It started all the way back in 2013. The owner of the Sacramento Kings was the Maloof family. At the time, it was speculated they were struggling with finances and no longer had the ambition to oversee an NBA team. As a result, they started negotiations to sell the franchise to a Seattle-based ownership group, led by Steve Ballmer, the Nordstrom owners, and hedge fund manager Chris Hansen.
Sorry. I heard Chris Hansen, and I was thinking like To Catch a Predator Chris Hansen.
New ownership group was expected to relocate the Kings to Seattle and recapture the Supersonics moniker. Except, even though the Maloof family approved the sale, the NBA Board of Governors did not. Eventually, the Kings would be sold to another group led by Vivek Ranadive, who committed to keeping the Kings in Sacramento. In retrospect, the Sonics were so close to getting their team back, but it wouldn't feel right to steal another city's team like that. Much like the Sonics, the Kings have some of the most passionate fans ever, and it would have created, ironically, the same predicament the Sonics have been in for all this time. Ever since then, the NBA has reached several milestones. New TV deals.
Hey, Seattle fans, if there's any of you guys watching, at this point, it's been so long, do you want the Sonics back, or do you want a brand new team?
New campaigns to expand their audience on every continent. New ways to promote their games via social media. Even new sponsorships, which may be quite controversial.
Yeah.
This was evident by the salary cap limit. From 2006 to 2013, the NBA salary cap barely changed.
Wow.
From 2013 until 2025, the NBA's revenue and popularity exploded.
I mean, it's crazy to go back and look at...
From 2013...
Hold on. It's crazy to go back and look at this, like 59 million. Now we got individual players making more than that.
Until 2025, the NBA's revenue and popularity
39.
exploded. Adam Silver also took over David Stern's role as commissioner in 2014, so he had a lot to do with it. But with the skyrocketing revenue came the looming question we've all wondered for so long. Is it finally time for new expansion teams to join the NBA? In the past years, Adam Silver has been quite vague and skeptical of adding new teams to the league. It was a topic he tried to carefully tread around. However, ever since the COVID pandemic, he became more optimistic.
Yeah, it's true. He's been talking about it a ton over the last couple of years.
Thus, the talks of expansion resurfaced. In December 2020, Silver made this statement. "I've always said that it's sort of the manifest destiny of the league that you expand at some point. One of our focuses as the league office is always on how do you create better competition. So it's one that we'll continue to study, but we're spending a little bit more time on it than we were pre-pandemic." He even shared a number that he was willing to accept, $1 billion. That's the entry fee for an expansion team if any ownership group wants to jump on board.
Entry fee? Oh, okay.
Silver mentioned Seattle and Las Vegas as the frontrunners, and if they were to expand, these two cities would have priority. Silver also promoted the expansion of the G League, allowing every team an opportunity to have a minor league squad to help every team have an adequate development system. The return of NBA basketball to Seattle and ultimately other North American cities seemed like it was bound to happen eventually. Then, as the years went by, something changed. The talks of expansion became quieter and quieter, and now dead silent. But why?
I could have sworn just like 6 months ago he was talking with Kevin Garnett, sorry, and he was mentioning it again.
Well, since then, the NBA has engaged itself in two important collaborations, which led to Adam Silver and other NBA owners being not as supportive of expanding anymore. First is their partnership with sports betting. Now, regardless if you're pro sports betting or anti-sports betting, the fact is the existence of this partnership has exponentially increased the value of every single team in the league.
Okay.
The money being injected into the NBA via sports betting is absolutely insane. And the result? The owners of every team are prospering from the additional revenue. If the NBA were to do a poll about adding a new team in Seattle or Las Vegas now, the overwhelming majority of owners would vote no. Because if the league has more teams, their own share of the revenue would become more diluted and decrease.
Okay, so that's the part that I understood.
Remember, the NBA operates with revenue sharing.
Yeah.
So every owner gets an equal share of the pie from all these new partnerships. Remember back in the pandemic how Silver stated that a $1 billion investment would be enough to start a new team in the NBA? Well, that number is a lot higher now. With teams being sold for $5, $6, even $10 billion? If a new team was added today, they would need at least $5 billion to get started. And you know, very few people in the world have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And two, the controversial TV deals. A while back, I made a video about how so many fans are unable to watch their favorite team due to blackouts. Sometimes you need to pay an extra subscription to see a broadcast, or sometimes you might not see it at all if you live in a blacked out zone. Because there's conflicts between, the local media and the national media about the rights to broadcast games. That's the unfortunate side effect of having so many different local market contracts. But one thing is certain, these new TV deals the NBA has signed with these major networks are worth tens of billions of dollars. And much like the gambling revenue, every owner is getting a slice of this pie. If there were 2 new expansion teams, they would once again eat into the pool of shared revenue. It's the classic example of billionaires wanting a bigger piece of the pie for themselves.
I know, it sounds like an Electronic Arts thing or something like that, you know, lay off 1,000 people. CEO takes a bonus of $50 million, no big deal, you know. Feels like that too. Like, it seems like they know the best thing to do would be to expand a league, but they're not going to do it because they want more money, you know. They want a bigger piece of the pie.
And keep in mind, Adam Silver works for the owners, not the other way around.
Yeah.
These new challenges have made it much more difficult for new teams to join the league, and Silver realized it too. When asked about this, he said to the press, quote, "The notion that we would hand over a team into a city where we're not currently operating and say, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to distribute your games to your local fans doesn't make sense. And one other factor we have to look at, we're trying to think, what is the value of an expansion? What does it mean to dilute the existing equity?" While the prospect of an expansion...
So they're talking about diluting equity. They're not talking about the game itself.
...dwindles by the day, Silver then dropped a bombshell of an announcement. On September 26, 2025, Silver released a statement that he was considering an NBA Cup in Europe and to create a confederation of teams from multiple continents. The statement including this interesting remark: "There's no reason if we had 4 teams in Europe, you couldn't travel, play the Knicks or Nets, travel to London, play 3-4 times in Europe, come back home. We think there's the opportunity to go into major European capitals and all the opportunities around it."
Wow.
That's quite different than what he thought in years past.
Yeah.
Basically, with expansion cities in North America being put on hold, the NBA has looked elsewhere for opportunities to expand their product.
Could this be because EuroLeague is on the rise? Like, is this a way to like cut into their, you know, what they got going on over there?
The fact that Silver suggests adding European cities to create possibly another league like NBA Europe or something, it's far-fetched, but if he considers this as a bigger possibility than expanding within North America itself, then it looks like Seattle, Las Vegas, or even Vancouver getting a team, the chance of that might be approaching 0. This was a complete 180 compared to a few years ago. This means the discussion behind the scenes with the owners must have convinced Silver that there's no way in this current state of the league that they'd accept new teams and give them a piece of the revenue pie. You know, it's like that old saying, the richer you become, the greedier you get. Beginning in the 2025-26 season, the NBA signed an 11-year, $76 billion media deal with several broadcast networks like ESPN, ABC, NBC, and Amazon Video. This deal had been in the works for several years now, and around this time, Silver has repeatedly mentioned that expanding to Seattle and Vegas would be their first priority after the TV deals are done. We've heard this story before. It's always, let's wait until this happens, then we'll think about Seattle again, or until something else happens, then we'll get to Seattle. They pushed it back for over a decade now. Every single time that Seattle is supposed to get a team, there are more and more obstacles in the way. By having other NBA owners not supporting them, it's made it impossible for any new ownership group to get their foot into the door, not just in Seattle, but other cities too. It's ironic, isn't it? The reason why Seattle still doesn't have a team is because of ownership greed. It's the reason that led to their team's departure all the way back in 2008, with the greed of Clay Bennett, who constantly gaslit the city, promising to stay but had no intention of ever fulfilling that promise. There have been several ownership groups that have tried to bring back the Sonics, from the old group led by Steve Ballmer to former Sonics players like Gary Payton and Kevin Durant, who are eager to hop aboard the ownership train. But with how much money teams need to get started and to operate, they need a heavy hitter to invest, or the dream of Seattle ever getting another team will be just that, a dream. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this video. When do you realistically foresee Seattle or even Las Vegas or Vancouver getting another team again?
I don't know anymore.
I feel like those 3 cities in particular have grown a lot in the last 10-20 years.
Yeah.
Or will they ever get another team? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and of course, as always, I'll see you next time.
I mean, the Vegas thing makes a lot of sense. It always has, and I know their population has only gone up, like, in the last 5 years especially. Seattle, yeah, I've been there. People everywhere nowadays. It's not the Seattle from the 90s, the grunge rock era anymore. It's a different thing now. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really thought those two cities were going to get a team, but I have noticed there's a lot of pushes lately with Silver as far as like Europe goes. And I mean, I'll say it makes sense because we are at a point in the NBA where the majority of the best players in the league are coming over here to America from Europe. They learned how to play in Europe, they played pro in Europe, and then they came here for the big paycheck. So what would it mean if we expanded out there? I don't really know. I don't really know what it would look like. Like if it's just the United States and Europe, I mean, it's cool, but at that point, like, why don't we just go for a global league, you know? And I don't know, just have, you know, you got to get Asia involved too, right? At a certain point. So I don't know. It's weird to me because I never thought about the NBA going global like this, like going out there, but as opposed to people coming here. But this kind of caught me off guard. I knew about the revenue sharing from the gambling app deal. I did not know about like the European expansion idea. So this is news to me, and I gotta let it digest, I guess. What do you guys think about this? Do you think we're gonna expand into Europe? Like, and is it just gonna be for exposure, or are there gonna be actual European teams in the NBA? Or is there going to be a second league, like a second NBA, like Andy here mentioned, like a NBA Europe kind of situation? Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. I'm not sure what to think about this one yet, but great video by Andy Hoops. Guys, link is down below if you want to check out the channel. I think I'm gonna go and let this information kind of marinate a little bit. So, guys, like the vid if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that subscribe plus if you want to support my channel. And yeah, be water, my friends.